Hi, first graders. I'm so excited today for science because your teachers and I have decided that to celebrate all that you've learned about living things, we are going to go on a virtual field trip. So buckle up your seatbelts and get ready to go because you have the choice to go to the San Diego Zoo today or the Monterey Bay Aquarium, or you can head to both. And your learning target today, first graders, while you're at the zoo or the aquarium, is to really observe different animals and be ready to describe what you're seeing and also start to ask yourselves questions about the animals based on what you notice. And I'm going to kind of walk you through this. We're going to do it together so that you can really do your best job as you observe animals and ask yourselves questions about them. So we're going to use a little strategy that I like to call the see, think, wonder strategy. So when you observe, you're just really using your eyes and you're asking yourself, what do you see? So while we're at the zoo or at the aquarium, I want you just to start asking yourself, what do I see? What animal do I see? What do I notice about their environment, right? Their surroundings around them. What do I notice about their structures? All things that you can see with your eyes. And based on what you see, I want you to start to think. What do you think is going on? And when you start to think, it makes you wonder. It makes you ask yourself some questions. So let's head over to the zoo together. And I'm going to kind of walk you through what it means to see, think, and wonder. And we're going to record some of our noticings and some of our wonderings today. So when you're on this slide, first graders, you have the choice of going to the aquarium or the zoo. It's up to you which one you choose, or you can choose both. I'm going to start with the zoo this morning. So to get to the zoo, you're just going to click right on that screen, and it'll pop up there on the bottom. And now you're at a menu of all of the different animals at the San Diego Zoo that you can observe today. And what's really cool is when you click on these animals, it takes you to a live camera of them. And a live camera means that what you're seeing the animals do in the video is what they're doing right now. So I'm going to probably click here on the elephant. I had already explored this menu a little bit and I want to see what the elephant is up to. And when I click on the elephant this morning, and whatever animal you end up choosing to click on, there are some steps that we'd like you to follow. So your first step is to click on the animal that you choose. Your next step, step 2, is to get a notebook or a piece of paper, and you're just going to sketch the animal that you see. And we'd like you to turn it into a diagram by labeling some of the animal's parts. And I will show you what I did with the elephant in just a second. After you've kind of sketched your animal and labeled everything, you will head to step 3, which is to write down your noticings and your wonderings. And to do that, first graders, you're going to want to maybe make a little T-chart on a piece of paper. And a T-chart just really looks like this. It's like a lowercase t. And then on top of the lines there, I wrote an N and a W for the things that I'm noticing, things that I'm seeing, and the things that I'm wondering, right? The questions that I'm asking myself. So you're going to want to have to make a chart like this too. So if you need to, pause the video now so you have a chart ready for your noticings and wonderings. And then you're going to share what you notice and what you wonder with your teacher. So again, I said I'm going to click on the elephant. So let's head over to the live elephant camera together. And you just click here to watch the camera. And you can see that it popped up for the elephant cam there. And now we're getting to the San Diego Zoo to see the elephants live. And so you can scroll down here and you can see that there are several different elephants here. Oh, even a little baby elephant. So right now, first graders would be the time maybe where you would take the time to sketch the animal that you're looking at and start to label a diagram of that animal. I had already done this so that I would be ready for you. So here's my picture of my elephant, and you notice also my T-chart on the bottom with my noticings and my wonderings, and we'll get to that. So I had drawn this picture of an elephant. I labeled the elephant's large ears, I labeled the tusk, their teeth, and I labeled the elephant's trunk. And when I first clicked on this video, there wasn't a baby elephant in the scene, so perhaps maybe I would have drawn a little baby elephant with this older elephant too, because that's pretty special. But I just took the time to draw a picture and then turn it into a diagram by labeling all of the elephant's structures. Once I've done that, now it's my time to really start to notice things about the elephant, which will cause me to wonder. So the first thing that I noticed was the different structures on the elephant, right? I noticed his ears, his tusk, his trunk. And so those were the things that I listed. And then as I started to list those noticings, I was thinking, which made me wonder. I started to think, if an elephant has those large ears, how well does it hear? And I listed that in a wonder. Can an elephant hear better things further away than maybe a human being like me and you who have a little bit smaller ears, or other animals? I also was noticing the tusks and the trunk. So I listed some other wonderings that I started to think about when I had noticed the tusk and the trunk. So I said to myself, does the trunk of an elephant, and you could see the little baby's elephants is going back and forth like that, does it almost act like their hands? Like, can they pick things up with their trunks the way we would pick things up with our hands? So I started to wonder a little bit about the function of the trunk for the elephant. Another thing that I started to notice was the environment around the elephant, right? Its surroundings. I said that it was grassy, it had some dirt. Another time when I had clicked on the camera, there was a little pond that I saw the elephants drinking out of. And so I started to, you see him using his trunk to pick up the sticks and things. So it does kind of serve as his hands the way we would pick things up, right? Pretty neat. I had started to notice the environment. So I listed that in my noticings, right? The things that I see. I see like a grassy area. I see some dirt around this elephant. And based on that noticing, I started to think and wonder. And what I started to wonder was, can elephants function in other environments? Do they only function in sort of like a grassy dirt area, or could an elephant have survival in more of a cold climate with snow? So those were all things I started to wonder based on the things that I was seeing. And so that's exactly what your first grade teachers want you to do today. You're going to head over to the zoo or the aquarium, pick an animal or two, as many as you can, that you want to observe. Do your best to draw and label a picture so that it becomes a diagram of that animal. Pay special attention to the animal's structures that we've been talking about for survival. Don't worry so much about your spelling, first graders. This is really about noticing the structures and observing so that you can start to wonder. But you have lots of strategies for spelling your best, right? You know about vowel teams, so you can spell the word ears. You know about blends, so you can spell the word trunk. And you know about digraphs, so you could spell the word teeth if you had to, okay? So you have lots of strategies. Oh, wow, more babies and the adults there. That's really special. And I even am starting to see something maybe happening in the water there. So spend some time really noticing and observing what you see, and then listing the things that you wonder based on what you see. Have so much fun, and we can't wait to see what you discover.